What is up, YouTube? Thanks, guys and gals, for joining me here on my live cast. Stephen Sturgill. I'll be your host for the next few minutes. Once again, guys, I'm kind of on a Vetyver kick here. It's winter, whatever. A Vetyver can and should often be worn year-round. It doesn't have to only be worn in the summer or the spring or the fall. And we're looking at one of the all-time heavyweight classics in the game. And that is, where did it go? I just had it out. There it is. This guy, Vetyver by Givenchy. So, guys, this beautiful frosted glass, this simple little plastic cap, gorgeous etiquette, or sticker. I think at the Spanish for ticket sticker. It's just one of the most intriguing, austere, elegant, classy, hyper neo-French classics in the entire fragrance game, like full stop, period, especially for the note of Vetyver. So the opening is juicy, aromatic, herbal, aquatic, sweet, a bit. It's got some nice depth to it, has some nice punch. But then it fairly quickly starts losing that aquatic, juicy, sweet nature, and it starts to go veering a good bit drier, a bit dustier, more on the pungent, aromatic, dry, bitter type side of Vetyver and of those types of other herbal notes and accords. And so for those reasons, and I should say this about most puristic Vetyver scents, they're not to everyone's liking. You have to really kind of specifically really enjoy Vetyver, which is earthy, aromatic, pungent, can be a little bit semi-bitter, can be a little bit juicy, aquatic, dry, powdery, earthy, rooty, a bit green, obviously, but not in the same way as, say, cucumber or green apple, certainly not. But that idea of fresh green cut leaves, herbs, grass, this type of thing with a bit of soil in it. So it's got that little earthy tincture vibe going on. But if you're someone that likes Vetyver quite a bit, or indeed loves Vetyver, this is a Vetyver lover's fantasy dream come true. But it's not all perfect blue skies and red roses and violets, and there are a couple of minor weaknesses, but it is still a fantastic classic for sure, which I can wholeheartedly highly recommend. Again, if you like Vetyver, if you want a heavy hitter of the big 3 or 4 super classic perfume houses in France, in Paris, well, this is easily a no-brainer. But let's get into the actual notes. Firstly, before I do, it almost seems to me that there's just a hint of something like grapefruit or neroli in it. It's got the slight, juicy, slightly sweet citrus aspect. The Vetyver is very pronounced. It is absolutely the rock star and centerpiece of this fragrance. It's got that slightly warm, but yet at the same time slightly bright, ever so slightly bitter aspect, earthy, green, rooty, herbal. I could almost think maybe there's just a hint of something like star anise or licorice and possibly spearmint in here, but dialed so far down into the blend. Oh, it's just so intriguing, guys. It's just so intriguing if you like Vetyver. Let's get into the official notes. This is a reissue as far as I can tell, or I should say a redo of their 1960s something, Vetyver. But this dropped in around 06, 07. And you're going to get vetiver and bergamot, or bergamot. You're going to get coriander and vetiver in the mid, and in the base, sandalwood and vetiver. Now the sandalwood here, guys, it's not as creamy as you might normally expect sandalwood to be. I think it's just sort of blending strangely in a very unique way with the coriander and the bergamot, which again does lend a very slightly somewhere between a lime and a lemon type citric accord. Oh, that vetiver is absolutely the rock star, though. Yeah, I don't know where else those little nuances of occasional hints of something kind of like spearmint or pink peppercorn or black pepper, but very, very minute, very, very soft. It's probably just the interplay of these ingredients. But I will say a lot of noses do not put all of the actual ingredients on they don't release all this to the public. So this could easily have other notes, other accords in it, but whatever. There's almost a hint of really old dried cinnamon that no longer has any real kick, but you can kind of get that type of smell from it. Also, I will say, guys, into the deep development phase, let's say anywhere from 1 to 3 hours in, it's going to settle and become kind of vetiver meets a British soap bar. Like, just think of a Prada-esque type, fresh, clean, just very, very delicious, good, high quality soap. It has some of that element and aspect going on for it, which I find fantastic and intriguing. Who doesn't want to smell clean, austere, elegant, classy, dare I say sexy, a little bit like an older Bond type individual. It's really, really a fantastic scent, guys, if you like this type of vetiver. So longevity is not the strongest guy on the block. I didn't really get much past 5 or 6 hours. If you want to go past that realistically, you're going to have to go very, very heavy, both on skin and clothing, firstly, or take it with you and just reapply as needed. No big deal. That should get most people through their evenings or work days or what have you. So not any kind of deal breaker, certainly. Sillage projection, they're going to be much stronger during the first hour, obviously. And then after that, it's going to really, for the most part, become, if not quite a skin scent, a very modest, intimate scent bubble, if you will. Now, who do I think this is for? I think it's for anyone that wants to smell classy, who loves vetiver, who loves interesting, slightly soapy, slightly austere, elegant type, earthy aromatics, leaning fougere. I don't know that I would classify it as a pure fougere, but it's straddling a strange airspace kind of between oriental and herbal, spicy fougere. Anyways, that's not important. Probably is classified as a fougere, but at any rate, I think maybe this is going to appeal to a slightly older individual. It's not, in a designer sense, it's not the most modern thing on the block. It's not necessarily youth appealing. Mass appealing, somewhat. It's not a traditionally modern type of mass appealing scent. So it's a little bit old fashioned. It's a little bit nichey, but it's just modern enough to stay relevant and interesting. And it's definitely, I'm telling you guys, it's just fan-frickin-tastic, especially on skin. Do not spray a paper or a blotter. You will not get the full actual aroma. If you're going to try this out somewhere, I don't know where you would, but if you come across a friend or a store or some wherever, insist on spraying it on skin. Lastly, the price. Guys, you can get this for as cheap as about $45. That's it. This is head and shoulders above many, many frags out there costing even up to $200 a bottle. So if you've got an extra 50 lying around, and you like Vetyver or you want to take a chance, pull the trigger. That's going to do it, guys. Over and out. Spray often. Spray well. Live life on your terms, baby. Love you guys. We're getting there. Peace.